Hey NFL fans, before we dive into today's hottest stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. From NFL News Now, the Dallas Cowboys universe has been shaken to its very core as Jerry Jones, the owner and the voice of authority for one of the most storied franchises in NFL history, broke his long-standing silence in a way that has left fans, analysts, and rival teams in utter disbelief. His statement was crystal clear and unambiguous. No one in the Cowboys wants him back. The words have echoed across sports media, sparking speculation, heated debates, and unsurprisingly, a flurry of social media reactions. For years, this player was seen as a figure who could tilt the balance of power, a name that inspired hope and at times controversy. Now, with Jones' blunt admission, the narrative shifts completely. People are wondering what led to this fracture between the organization and a player who was once considered central to the team's plans. Analysts are diving into every possible reason. Was it personality clashes, locker room politics, or perhaps a performance issue that no one wants to acknowledge publicly? The Cowboys' front office has always been shrouded in a mix of secrecy and spectacle, but this public declaration breaks all previous norms. The fact that Jones himself, often considered the ultimate negotiator and master of public relations, would speak with such finality suggests tensions far deeper than any headline could capture. This is more than just a statement. It's a seismic shift in the internal culture of one of the NFL's most scrutinized franchises, signaling that past loyalties and fan expectations may no longer align with the current reality. The implications of Jerry Jones' statement stretch far beyond the immediate Cowboys organization, sending shockwaves through the league. Rival teams are undoubtedly taking notice, weighing the possibility of acquiring a player who, despite his talent, is now effectively exiled from one of the league's flagship franchises. This sort of development is a goldmine for speculation, as media outlets scramble to predict trades, potential landing spots, and the impact on the broader NFL landscape. Fans, meanwhile, are polarized. Some feel vindicated if they had grown frustrated with the player's tenure, while others are experiencing disbelief and heartbreak, struggling to reconcile their loyalty with the brutal honesty of Jones' words. The tension lies in the unknown. No one can be certain if this is an irreversible severance, or if behind-the-scenes negotiations might still offer a twist. Meanwhile, insiders are reporting hushed conversations, private meetings, and even subtle posturing from the front office as the team navigates both public perception and internal dynamics. Every press conference, every hint of commentary, is now dissected with microscopic attention, as fans and analysts attempt to read between the lines of what might still be unfolding. The mere notion that a player of significant profile could be so categorically rejected by an organization that once embraced him speaks volumes about shifting priorities, evolving leadership styles, and perhaps an organizational philosophy that no longer tolerates certain behaviors or conflicts. In essence, the Cowboys are signaling a new era, one where past reputations may hold little sway against the demands of cohesion, discipline, and long-term vision. The drama doesn't stop there, because this revelation forces a re-examination of the team's recent history. Every decision, every controversial moment, suddenly takes on a new layer of meaning under the harsh light of Jones' statement. Analysts are revisiting past games, off-field incidents, and contract negotiations, searching for clues that might explain this sudden fracture. Was it a personality clash that simmered for years before erupting publicly, or perhaps a strategic decision that required a hardline stance? Speculative whispers suggest locker room dynamics played a role, with teammates reportedly divided over the player's presence and influence. Some sources hint at tensions between coaching staff and management, a triangle of conflict where performance, attitude, and leadership intersect in unpredictable ways. Beyond the locker room, there is also the undeniable factor of public perception. Cowboys fans are notoriously passionate, vocal, and unforgiving when disappointment lingers. The organization may have recognized that retaining a polarizing figure could threaten the fragile balance of team culture and fan engagement. It is rare in professional sports for an owner to so openly declare internal rejection, making this case a fascinating study in power, loyalty, and the boundaries of organizational control. Each rumor, each speculation, each offhand comment in the media now becomes magnified, a potential window into motivations that have remained tightly sealed until this moment. What's certain is that the Cowboys' decision, or at least their public framing of it, is creating a ripple effect across sports discourse, ensuring that everyone from casual fans to seasoned analysts will be watching every next move with bated breath. Industry insiders are already mapping out potential consequences beyond the Cowboys' immediate circle. Players around the league are keenly aware that a statement from Jerry Jones carries weight far beyond Dallas, setting a precedent for how organizations may handle conflict, public perception, and loyalty in the modern NFL. Could this embolden other teams to take similarly blunt stances with problematic stars? Could it influence negotiations, contracts, and trade strategies in ways we can only speculate about? There's also the psychological angle. How will this impact the player in question? A professional who has been thrust into the center of one of the most publicized rejections in recent memory. Motivation, focus, and performance could all be affected, with ripple effects potentially altering career trajectories in ways fans cannot yet imagine. Meanwhile, the Cowboys must now navigate the aftermath, balancing roster needs, maintaining locker room cohesion, and managing the narrative that has exploded across every sports outlet. Each press statement, each practice session, each hint of strategy now carries extra weight, as insiders attempt to decipher not just the team's tactical decisions, but the underlying cultural and personal dynamics at play. Jerry Jones' bluntness leaves no room for ambiguity, forcing the league, the media, and fans to grapple with a reality that is at once shocking, unprecedented, and deeply compelling. Meanwhile, speculation about where this player might land next is reaching fever pitch. Rumors swirl about potential suitors, ranging from struggling franchises desperate for a talent boost to teams with reputations for giving second chances to controversial stars. Agents, managers, and insiders are likely in constant motion, leveraging the drama for leverage in negotiations, trying to position both the player and prospective teams for maximum advantage. Social media platforms are ablaze with debates, polls, and impassioned commentary, reflecting the intense emotional investment that fans place in both the Cowboys and the player. Every report, every whisper of interest, is dissected for clues, feeding a narrative ecosystem that thrives on uncertainty, tension, and the human fascination with triumph and betrayal. In this climate, it is nearly impossible to separate fact from conjecture. But the sheer intensity of speculation underscores how significant this development truly is. A once heroic figure has become a lightning rod, a symbol of organizational authority clashing with individual star power, creating a drama that transcends wins and losses to touch on themes of loyalty, identity, and professional survival in the high-stakes world of professional football. Finally, the emotional resonance of this moment cannot be overstated. Fans are grappling with disappointment, outrage, and curiosity all at once, as they attempt to reconcile their memories of past glories with the stark reality presented by Jerry Jones. The tension between nostalgia and the present-day realities of management decisions is palpable, creating a narrative tension that is both dramatic and deeply human. Sports, after all, is never just about numbers, statistics, or victories. It is about stories, legacies, and the way people connect to larger-than-life figures who embody hope, struggle, and ambition. In this case, the narrative has taken a dark, complicated turn, one that will be dissected, debated, and remembered for years to come. The Cowboys, their fans, and the entire NFL ecosystem are now participants in a high-stakes drama where every development is amplified, every comment scrutinized, and every potential outcome imagined. Jerry Jones' statement has not just changed the course of one player's career. It has reshaped the conversation about power, loyalty, and consequence within one of the most high-profile organizations in professional sports history. The ripple effects of this announcement extend far beyond Dallas, threatening to reshape the dynamics of entire divisions and influence rivalries in ways no one could have anticipated. Competitors are undoubtedly recalibrating strategies, reassessing the potential impact of a player who, despite falling out of favor with one organization, still possesses undeniable talent and game-changing ability. Every team with cap space, draft flexibility, or a struggling season is now calculating whether this acquisition could be the difference between mediocrity and contention. Meanwhile, inside the Cowboys' walls, the locker room atmosphere is under intense scrutiny, with teammates reportedly navigating an awkward landscape where former alliances are questioned, and the specter of past conflict lingers. Coaches and staff must balance focus on game preparation with managing the emotional fallout, ensuring that the team's cohesion remains intact. Rumors suggest that internal debates have intensified, with factions forming around differing philosophies regarding leadership, accountability, and the role of individual stars versus collective effort. The power of Jerry Jones' statement lies not only in its content, but also in its timing, coinciding with the period when teams are evaluating rosters, scouting trades, and preparing for critical stages of the season. The intersection of timing, talent, and public perception creates a perfect storm, forcing everyone involved to navigate an increasingly complex web of strategy, ego, and opportunity. Off the field, the media frenzy shows no signs of slowing. Sports networks, social media influencers, and online forums are saturated with speculation, theory crafting, and dramatic interpretations of what this declaration means for both the Cowboys and the players. Career analysts are revisiting contract details, prior interviews, and subtle interactions during games to try to piece together a coherent story. But the narrative remains tantalizingly elusive in this sense. The situation is a case study in how modern sports culture thrives on tension, intrigue, and the blurred lines between performance and personality. Fans, particularly in the digital age, wield unprecedented influence over narrative momentum, amplifying rumors, demanding answers, and creating viral moments that can define careers in an instant. The unique combination of Jerry Jones' public authority, the player's profile, and the passionate investment of the fan base ensures that every subsequent move will be magnified, dissected, and debated endlessly. This is not just a story about a team rejecting a player. It is a story about the intersection of leadership, media, and human drama in one of the most high-stakes, high-visibility environments imaginable. Speculation about potential landing spots has ignited a new wave of rumor mills, with every team in need of defensive firepower suddenly finding themselves in the conversation. Could a historic franchise, desperate for a spark, swoop in and absorb the talent that the Cowboys have publicly rejected? Could a lesser-known team offer the player a chance at redemption and a stage to prove that the Cowboys' decision was premature? The possibilities are endless, each more tantalizing than the last, and the intrigue lies in the uncertainty itself. Every analyst has an opinion, every fan has a prediction, and every report contributes to a larger narrative that transcends traditional coverage. The player, meanwhile, exists at the center of a storm, navigating not just professional obligations, but also the weight of expectation, scrutiny, and the potential for reinvention. The psychological dimensions of this scenario are just as compelling as the logistical ones, offering a drama that is as human as it is strategic, as personal as it is professional. Keep watching as we analyze more details about some rumors. Within Dallas, internal speculation is reaching fever pitch. Front office insiders, though silent publicly, are reportedly evaluating roster priorities, weighing trade options, and assessing long-term planning with a renewed sense of urgency. Every position group, every coaching decision, and every game plan could be subtly influenced by the reverberations of Jones' statement. The organization must balance transparency with strategic discretion, ensuring that public confidence remains intact while navigating internal dynamics that are undoubtedly fraught with tension. Rumors suggest that discussions behind closed doors have been intense, as executives and coaches weigh not just the immediate tactical considerations, but also the broader cultural implications of this high-profile rejection. Leadership, in this context, is being tested in real time, forcing decision-makers to navigate a labyrinth of media scrutiny, fan expectation, and locker room dynamics with unprecedented complexity. Meanwhile, fans continue to grapple with disbelief, anger, and curiosity in equal measure. Social media platforms are saturated with debates, polls, and emotional commentary as supporters attempt to process the abrupt shift in narrative. Loyalty clashes with frustration, and nostalgia battles with the stark reality of Jones' blunt declaration. Every social interaction, from casual conversation to heated forum debate, becomes a reflection of broader cultural tensions surrounding hero worship, accountability, and the human desire for closure. The intensity of fan engagement underscores just how central sports are to identity, community, and emotional investment. This is not just about football, it is about shared experience, narrative ownership, and the collective processing of uncertainty and change. The rejection, though directed at one individual, resonates across the fan base, sparking conversations that are as much about values, priorities, and organizational philosophy as they are about performance on the field. In parallel, analysts and insiders continue to speculate about the long-term consequences. How will this rejection affect trade markets, roster strategies, and the valuation of players with complex personalities or histories. Could this set a precedent for other organizations to adopt similarly uncompromising stances? The ripple effects extend beyond Dallas, influencing how franchises approach leadership, discipline, and public messaging. In this sense, Jerry Jones' statement transcends the immediate drama, offering a glimpse into evolving organizational philosophies in professional sports, where transparency, accountability, and decisive leadership increasingly clash with traditional notions of loyalty and talent retention. The story is far from over. Every day brings new possibilities, new whispers, and new angles from which to analyze a situation that has captivated the entire football world. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your fellow NFL fans. Stay tuned for more updates. Only here on NFL News Now.